What if I told you that in literature, a rose is never just a rose? A storm may actually represent emotional chaos. A journey may symbolize human life. And a whale may become the mystery of existence itself. Welcome, students and lovers of literature. Today we are going to explore one of the most fascinating and powerful concepts in literature, symbolism. A literary technique that transforms ordinary objects into extraordinary meanings. By the end of this lecture, you will understand what symbolism is, why writers use it, types of symbolism, symbolism in poetry and fiction, how great writers use symbolism to create masterpieces,
and how great writers like William Blake, William Shakespeare, and Herman Melville used symbolism to create masterpieces.
So sit back and let us uncover the hidden language of literature. Symbolism is the use of symbols to represent ideas beyond their literal meaning. In simple words, a symbol is something visible that represents something invisible. A dove represents peace. Darkness represents fear or evil. Light represents hope. And a red rose symbolizes love. Writers use symbolism because direct statements are often less powerful than images. Instead of saying, "I am sad," a writer may describe a lonely tree standing in winter. Suddenly, emotion becomes visual. And readers do not merely understand the feeling, they experience it. That is the magic of symbolism. Poets especially love symbolism because poetry speaks through images. Take William Blake's poem, Our Sunflower. Blake writes about a sunflower that constantly follows the sun. But the sunflower is not merely a flower, it symbolizes humanity itself. Human beings searching for eternity, for peace, for spiritual fulfillment. The flower becomes a mirror of human existence.
One of the most famous symbols in literature is the rose.
In Robert Burns' famous line, "My love is like a red, red rose." The rose symbolizes beauty, romance, and passion.
But symbolism becomes even more fascinating in William Blake's poem, The Sick Rose. Here, the rose becomes dark and mysterious.
It may symbolize corrupted innocence, hidden desire, or spiritual decay. The same object carries entirely different meanings depending on the writer. And that is what makes symbolism so powerful. There are two major types of symbols in literature. Conventional symbols. These are symbols society already understands. For example, white symbolizes purity, black symbolizes death or evil, red symbolizes passion or danger, a cross symbolizes sacrifice. These symbols are shared culturally. Readers recognize them immediately. Now, this is where literature becomes mysterious. Some writers create personal symbols with unique meanings.
Poets like W.B. Yeats and T.S. Eliot filled their poetry with symbols that only make sense within their own imaginative world.
These symbols often feel like puzzles, and readers become detectives trying to decode hidden meanings. Symbolism is not limited to poetry. Novelists also use it brilliantly. One of the greatest examples comes from Herman Melville's masterpiece, Moby-Dick. The white whale in the novel is far more than an animal. It symbolizes nature, fate, obsession, God, evil, the unknown mysteries of life. Different readers interpret the whale differently. One reader sees the whale as nature, another sees fate, another sees evil, another sees divine mystery, and that is the hallmark of great symbolism. It never has only one meaning. Many metaphors are also symbolic. When someone says, "Life is a roller coaster," nobody thinks life literally has tracks and wheels. The roller coaster symbolizes emotional ups and downs. This metaphor illustrates our journey through life's symbolic meaning. Similarly, he is a rock. The rock symbolizes strength and dependability. Or consider this famous expression, "Time is money." This symbolizes the value and limitation of time. Through metaphor, writers compress deep truths into unforgettable images. Sometimes symbolism expands beyond a single image. It spreads through an entire story. This is called allegory.
A perfect example comes from William Shakespeare.
In As You Like It, Shakespeare writes, "All the world's a stage.
and all the men and women merely players. Life becomes a stage. Human beings become actors. Existence itself becomes a performance. This is the allegory, symbolism across an entire story. This is symbolism operating on a grand philosophical scale. Perhaps the most fascinating idea is this: language itself is symbolism. Words are symbols. The word tree is not an actual tree. It is merely a sound representing an idea. The same is true for mathematics, science, religion, music, and art. Human beings understand reality through symbolic systems. And literature refines these symbols into beauty. Why should students study symbolism? Because symbolism teaches us to read deeply. Without symbolism, literature becomes surface-level storytelling. But symbolism transforms reading into interpretation. You stop asking, what happens in the story, and begin asking, what does it mean? That is the beginning of literary criticism, and that is how readers become thinkers. So remember, in literature, nothing is ever just an object. The greatest writers do not simply describe reality. They reveal the hidden meanings beneath reality.
And symbolism is their most powerful tool.
Thank you for joining me in this lecture on symbolism in literature. If you enjoyed this video, continue exploring the fascinating world of English literature, poetry, literary theory, and criticism.